Hi, I'm Jerry Ford and welcome to my studio. This is the March edition of the 2023 Mug Rug of the Month Club. So we are going to make this really cute little mug rug. This month's mug rug not only has this cute St. Patrick's Day design, but it also has a pocket, and the rainbow goes into the pocket. So this is a good place to put pens at your desk, or even little candies or cookies or crackers, whatever. The design is free. You just need to send me an email request to waltzquilt@yahoo.com and I'll be happy to send you the written instructions as well as the PES embroidery file. If you would like to become a member of our 2023 Mug Rug of the Month, also let me know in an email request and I'll be happy to send you the future month's designs and instructions. If you want last 2 months, then go ahead and send me an email request and I'll be happy to send you the PDF instructions as well as the PES embroidery file. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, for this month's mug rug, you're going to need a 5x7 hoop, and you can use pretty much any stabilizer. I'm using no-show mesh. I recommend either the no-show mesh or any light tearaway or even cutaway. It doesn't matter. You're going to need a piece of batting about 6 inches by 8 inches. You're going to need a piece of background sky fabric about 6 inches by 6 inches. You need right side of the same background fabric about 3.5 inches by 6 inches. You're going to need a pocket piece, which is about, I'd say about 8 inches or 9 inches, however long you want to make it. By 3.5 inches, and that's going to be the pocket. Then you need a scrap piece of black. Oh, I almost forgot. You need to have 2 pieces of background fabric for the back of the mug rug, 6 inches wide by about 10 inches long, that's folded in half and crisply pressed. So that's really all you need for this project as far as fabric goes. For colors, I am using green, red, green, turn them this way so you can see them, green, red, yellow, blue, purple, a gold metallic, and some black. You're going to need to have your design loaded into your machine, and it's called marchmugrug.pes. And you're going to need regular bobbin thread, embroidery bobbin thread in your bobbin. And you're also going to need to have an embroidery needle, regular embroidery needle, but for the metallic thread, you're going to need either a size 14 top stitch needle, or you're going to need a Metallica, either size 12 or size 14, doesn't matter. Okay, let's take this to the machine and let's get stitching. Okay, I've loaded my design into my machine with the USB port. There, it's loaded. It's got it says it has 18 colors. However, the first 6 of them plus 3 more are going to be applique, so they're just running stitches. So it sounds like a lot, but it's not really. Okay, so I have loaded white thread in my machine. And I'm just going ahead, and this first color stop is going to give me placement for the batting. So let me stitch it and I'll speed it up. The next, it's going to tack down the batting. So I'm just going to float the batting on the top so that it covers all of the stitching it did before. And it's going to tack this down. Now I'm going to trim away the excess batting. which is on the outside. That way it won't be in the seam, and that's just fine. That's less bulk. So I'm going to go ahead and it helps to have a nice sharp pair of curved scissors. But I'm going to go ahead and stitch the rest of this off camera. Alright, now that it has stitched the outline, and you'll notice that I did mark this in red so that you can see where it exactly stitched. So it stitched a 6-inch square in the center and the side for the pockets. Okay, so return that to the machine. I just cut it close. That helps reduce the bulk of the seam. Okay, I'm going to now put the background one piece, which is the 6 inches by 6 inch piece, so that it covers all of the stitching in the center by at least 1/4 inch. Can be more than that. And then I'm going to stitch this down. Again, I will speed this up. At this opportunity, you can go ahead and trim this or just leave this, but I'm going to do my indicator line for the right side of the mug rug. And it's just going to do a straight line this way. It's also going to make a mark to show the placement for the pocket. Not much to it, okay? So, here's the lines that it did this last time. It did, this is going to be the stitching line for this side of the pocket, or for this side of the mug rug. This is going to be the placement for this fabric. This is going to be stitched out, and this little marking right here showing the top placement for the pocket piece. And it's going to be folded in half lengthwise. I'm going to place this, and it's a little long. I didn't need it that long. I want to place this so that that is right along that edge. Right? So here's my placement line here. I'm going to place this piece on top of it. Can be a little further in. This needs to be at least, it needs to overlap this side by at least 1/4 inch, and it needs to overlap this side by 1/4 inch. All right, let's put this in the machine and let's stitch this. Okay. Now this is the seam that's going to hold the two edges together. Now it's going to start stitching the design itself, the rainbow. So I'm going to finger press this straight over. If you like, you can pin it. So I'm going to pin this down here so that it's way out of the way, just to hold it down. I'm going to take the pocket piece and literally fold it so that it makes a triangle. And I'm going to pin it down. Okay. Next I'm going to change to purple thread, which is what it's asking for, because we're going to start stitching the rainbow. And I'll stitch the purple on camera, but the other colors we'll go ahead and do off. Okay, when it comes over here, I want to stay close. Okay, so here goes. I'm going to stitch it off camera because this is frankly kind of boring. Okay, now that it is finished doing the green rainbow, I'm going to stop that a minute. Okay, this was like this. Okay, that's how I told you to fold this. Go ahead and fold this over one more time so that it's completely out of the way. So here's the seam right here. So actually, if you fold that inside, it won't interfere with stitching the shamrocks. So the next thing it's going to do is stitch the shamrocks here, here, and up here. I'm going to go ahead and stitch off camera until we are ready to stitch the metallic part of the pot of gold. So now it's stitching the shamrocks. And see, this is well out of the way. Okay, I will be right back. All right, now that it's stitched the rainbow, we can go ahead and pull the pocket out, put it all the way over, and pin it into place. Pin it this way. There. We're actually pretty much done stitching here on the pocket area. Okay, so we pull that over to the side. So the next thing I need to do is I need to thread metallic thread. It's going to do the pot of gold right now, so I'm going to go ahead and thread that. I need to make sure that I put it in size, either size 14 top stitch needle or a Metallica needle size 12 or 14 on the machine side. There's a couple things we need to do. Okay, I need to, this right here icon is my tensions, so I want to switch there, and I need to lower this tension by a full number, 3.0. Okay, the other thing I need to do is go to my settings page up here and take my speed down to its slowest speed it can go. Okay, like I said, you also want to use a good quality metallic thread, and see how I have this going straight up from a tree. That's going to make it easier for the thread to come off the spool without any stretching, because the biggest problem with metallic thread is the stretching. That's why you have so much trouble with it. So slow down your machine, use a good quality thread. Okay. So the 4 factors in getting good results with metallic thread is use a metallic or a top stitch needle. Use a good quality thread. All of the major brands are fine. You want to slow down your machine to the slowest speed it will go, and lower your tension by at least 1 point. I start at 3.0, and it could possibly go even looser. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and we will stitch the metallic pot of gold. Okay, awesome. That's stitched out perfectly with no problems whatsoever, and it's fairly dense stitching. It turned out really well. I'm just going to leave the needle for now. There's not too much more to go. So I'm going to change it to black thread. I am now going back to the machine. I'm going to go here, which is my tension, return my tension to the default of 4. I'm going to go to my settings pages, which from up here, and I want to take that speed back to 700, which is where I like to stitch. I threaded the needle with black thread. And now we're going to do the applique part of the design, which is going to be the kettle. Okay? So first stitch is a placement. I'm going to put a little piece of black cloth or fabric on the top, just a scrap will do, so that it covers all the stitching, and do it again. Do the second part of the applique, which is a tack down. going to pull this out a little bit just so I can get to it because I need to trim the excess fabric. And you want to get fairly close. It helps to have a sharp pair of scissors that's sharp all the way to the end. Curved is also good. So if you lift and push in towards the applique piece, then that gets it nice and close. You don't really need to get it much closer than that. Return the hoop to the machine and do the seal down stitch, which in this case is going to be a satin stitch. There we go. Okay, now it's ready to do the outline stitch. I'm folding over these pockets and I'm going to pull everything nice and straight. And the next to the last color stop, I put white thread back in the machine and I'm going to seal down the edge of the pocket. Okay, now it's going to stitch the pocket and the right side of the background fabric and seals it down. This is the back. You can take the fold side, let's see, the fold side in and put that sort of, and make sure that it covers everything. Covers these three edges by at least 1/4 inch. More is better. Then you're going to take the other piece, which is the fold side, do the same thing on the other side so that it is covering, all overlapping in the center here, somewhat in the center. Okay, put that back. Okay, and using the white thread, I'm going to go very slowly. So here we go. Be ready to hit the stop button. It's going to go this way, so we're good. Okay, we're getting ready to hit this part. Okay, stop. I'm going to just come over here carefully, and I'm going to hit this start button and hold on to it, and it will go very slow. It's not going to go any faster than that. That way you can sew over this seam without worrying about getting the foot caught, because you're going extremely slow, and you keep going slow until it crosses. This way you don't have to do the tape. Okay, and when you feel it's good, release it. That is not true on all machines. I'm not worried about the foot getting caught here either. If your machine does not do this, hit a stop. And just to be sure, I don't think it'll get caught, but I'm not going to take any chances. Okay. Okay, we are done stitching. So therefore I'm going to take the hoop off of the machine and remove the fabric from the hoop, and I'll meet you at the table and we'll trim this. Alright, I'm just going to cut my corners, cut close. I cut 1/4 inch, but I like to cut at an angle like this, because that was going to make sure I don't have a hard edge. See, if you look up close, you can see that they're graduated. Or you can even cut this way. Doesn't matter. Just as long as you put your blades at an angle. And that way it's not going to give you a hard edge. Again, 1/4 of an inch away. If you like, it's not really necessary, but you can trim away this stabilizer bit right close to the stitching line as well. But you know, this is so thin, I don't think it matters. So anyway, I'm just going to turn this. So I reach in. To turn your corners, it helps to pinch them, fold them over, pinch them, and pull it through. And that way you've got it 90% there. Again, fold your corners under, pinch it, and run it through. And that's most of the way there. Do the same thing on the other 2 corners. Okay. All right, I'm going to give this a good press, and the mug rug is finished. Okay, the mug rug is finished. It's good and pressed. It's ready to give as a gift or to use it to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. If you would like a copy of this design, both the written instructions as well as the PES embroidery file, then send me an email request to waltzquilt@yahoo.com and I'll be happy to share it with you. If you would like to become a member of our 2023 Mug Rug of the Month Club, also add that to the email and I will be happy to add you to the club. If you need January and February's designs, the written instructions, again, send me an email request for the past month's designs. So until next month, happy stitching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.